Make sure you don't have a date or a fucking pew 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 date. Just you can have some time.
Sit on down. Here's the queen. Here he is. Here she is. Let's see.
Is that a Mai Tai he's drinking in his picture? Hey, your
No,
profile.
that was a Hendrix. That was a bucket of Hendrix.
Uh-oh.
Plug your corded. Come on, man.
He's going to eat your shit right now. A bucket of Hendrix. You know what? Even on the distraction of the cords, that was a more brightened entrance than I thought we were going to get from Bill. You know, generally much better.
Sorry.
Generally a Tuesday after a 4-day weekend, you know, he's already mailed it in. He knows the bad wings coming not just around the corner.
7 days. I'm working 7 days.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's propping him up.
You mean you're commuting 7 more days? You mailed it in for the rest of you mailed it in. Let's be honest.
Your audio sounds like shit, Ray.
He always modulates himself because there's a button.
Oh, modulating?
Dude, I mailed it in before Christmas because all I knew is I was off a week before Christmas. Then I had 2 days for New Year's, and now I can mail it in for the rest of January, and I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Good for you, man.
Next Thursday is my last day.
Nice. Save the we'll beep it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That actually does look like water.
It's water.
Nice.
Straight vodka.
There's no vodka in here. Just fucking open it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Timestamp 6:46. Not even a minute in.
Fix your audio. You sound like shit.
I don't know why he's so heavily defending the vodka take. Actually, why don't we all? Let me fix the light. Hold on. Only a guy drinking vodka so heavily denies that it's vodka.
Tell you if it was vodka.
Do I sound better now?
I have no. Hold on. Go ahead.
Do I sound better now?
Can't hear you at all.
Do I sound better now?
You talking?
No, you guys are fucking playing the trick that I did.
Playing the trick. Who the fuck calls it a trick?
Simple-minded individuals like myself.
They played a trick on me.
Yeah. It's supposed to be my trick with Rich to do it to you, Bill.
They played my trick on me.
Sons of bitches.
Like a fucking toddler. They're playing the trick. Oh, shit. Simple minds indeed. We got a lot to get to, boys. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, January 13th. Simple Minds Sports Show. Welcome to the show. Gentlemen, this is not usually our place of expertise. Nothing is, to be honest. But we don't generally jump into the college football scene. Just not really where we live up here in New England, right? So, but college football championship is another thing. And when you have a game and a team like we saw last night, I don't know how much of it you guys got to catch. Watched the first half and went to bed. I mean, it was over. Mm-hmm. It's something else. I was 52-24 Alabama over Ohio State. A lot of talk, especially even coming out of the very own quarterback, Mac Jones, that this was the greatest team of all time. I think it could be in the conversation.
Pump the brakes.
Okay. Tell us more, Bill.
I mean, if you want to talk about some of the best college teams of all time, those early 2000s Miami teams were fucking loaded. They should have won 2 national championships. They got fucked out of that Ohio State championship, 2003? They got fucked out of that. Those early 2000s Miami teams were loaded with Hall of Fame talents.
And of cocaine.
That goes all the way back.
That's how they got the Hall of Fame
That goes
talent.
all the way back to the 80s with Michael Irvin and all those fucking cokeheads out back then.
Sure.
Those 2000 teams were fucking loaded.
Bill, this 2020 Alabama team had a margin of victory of 29.2 points.
Yeah, I mean, so I heard some of this stuff too, and you got to take into COVID consideration. I mean, they had a good shootout with not A&M, but Ole Miss, wherever Lane Kiffin is. Ole Miss, right? Ole Miss. They could have lost that game, but taking a COVID, I mean, a lot of divisions didn't play. The Pac-12 basically didn't play at all. They didn't play a full schedule. Shit, Ohio State played 7 games.
What does it have to do with Alabama? They played
I'm
a full
just saying,
schedule.
The national championship's a little skewed this year.
But the team isn't. The team played a full schedule. They still played a strength of schedule. When
I
you're
still
putting
don't
up,
think they're one of the best ever.
Bill, they almost averaged 50 points. They gave up under 20. I mean, look, the statistics alone bear it out. Again, I didn't watch college football. I never watched a lot of college football this year. But you look at that game. It was like a video game. I mean, Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith had 215 yards, 12 catches, and 3 touchdowns in the first half. He didn't even play the second half.
He broke his hand though, right?
No.
Oh, you heard it. He hurt his ankle on the second
No,
play.
it was his hand because it was all taped up after the game.
No.
Either way, it was the second play of the second half. He didn't play the whole second half. It's like Ohio State watched Tyreek Hill tape against Tampa Bay and decided that was a good defense to run.
How fucking good is he?
Very
Holy fucking dude. So if you go back, you know what built this? Like if you go back their 2017 draft class, like their recruiting class, Ruggs was on it. That other guy that went to Oakland, they had two first round draft picks. They had Najee Harris, Mac Jones,
Jerry Jeudy.
Jeudy was on that team, and Smith. That was and you want to talk about a dynasty keep going? They have the highest graded 2021 recruiting class ever.
Yeah.
Ever. They have 4 players. I think they have 4 players in the top 20, and then I think 23 guys in the top 100 of the recruiting class or some ridiculous thing like that. Like this team is not slowing down.
Yeah, Mac Jones can say all he wants, but I think in 3 years we're going to be saying this is the greatest Alabama team ever. Saban's just going to keep doing this. He keeps having the best recruiting classes. He's just like Calipari in basketball with Kentucky. You get the best freshmen because you have the best facilities. You have the best paved way to go to the NFL. You have the best, so you get the best draft stock. So yeah, Nick Saban's going to keep doing this till he leaves.
Yeah, and
Alabama's going to be a powerhouse. Yeah,
they build a NFL offense. If you look at them, Brian Daboll was there running the Buffalo Bills offense. You had Lane Kiffin was there. You're bringing in Bill O'Brien, Scarnesian, whatever.
He's going back to college now.
But he was another former head coach, big offensive guy. He fucking drank his way out of USC. But the guys they've loaded up there are just incredible. Everybody, I mean, that's the way to the NFL. You want to be in the NFL, you want to be a stud in the NFL, you go to the fucking SEC, and you go to the best team in the SEC right now, and that's Alabama. And they're not slowing down. They're not. As long as Nick Saban's there, that team's going to be in the top 5 every single year.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, talent goes a long way. And before Ray, your audio sounds worse now for some reason. The talent goes a long way, but Nick Saban has to be, considered. I mean, greatest coach. He certainly has the greatest career or the greatest resume of college football of all time. He passes Bear Bryant there. Just real quick to date back to that strengths of schedule you're talking about, Bill. Alabama's schedule included 13 games against teams from power conferences, 10 SEC schedule, the SEC title game against Florida, and college football playoff games against Notre Dame and Ohio State. Obviously, even in the SEC, they did not play the 2 worst teams, which was 0-9 Vanderbilt and South Carolina. So I get what you're saying in COVID. I would go the other way. I mean, it didn't affect their strength of schedule, and they still had to deal with all the shit that everyone else had to deal with. And
I'm just saying, pump the brakes on the best team of all time.
I mean, I think they need to be in the discussion. 2019 LSU team's already on the list. They've already put 2019 on the list. So why is 2020 on this? I don't understand. Why? Is it because you're old as fuck and you want to watch power football and running the whole time? This is new college football. This is new football. The numbers speak for themselves. They demolished Ohio State in the championship game. It's not like, I don't think we're going overboard. I'm not outwardly saying it's the greatest college football team of all time, but they have to be in the conversation. You beat teams by fucking 30 and you average 50 points an entire game. And I just lifted off the strength of schedule for you. You're playing the toughest conference game after game after game and blowing teams fucking out all season long in the midst of a pandemic where you have to deal with all the extra bullshit. I mean, come on. Not to give that team its props. I'm not pumping the brakes on putting them in the greatest of all time conversation. I refuse to pump my fucking brakes, Bill. Full speed ahead.
Okay.
That being said, Ray, you taking Devontae Smith? If for some reason, however, he drops down to 15 at this point, they're talking about top 5 because of that performance and the Heisman and everything else. But He was in certain mock drafts not that long ago was dipping down in the middle of the first round. So if he gets down to the 15th, you taking him for the Patriots? Now we
really
actually can't hear you.
All right, I'll answer that question. If he's sitting there at 15, you'd be hard pressed not to take him. The talent's there. You just won the Heisman Trophy. You had 12 catches and 200 yards in the first half of the national championship game. You know, I mean, you look at some of the guys the Patriots have passed on in the last 2 years. I think this kid is the best wide receiver in the draft. Clearly, his numbers are backing it up. You have a giant, glaring hole at wide receiver. This is one of your biggest weakness outside of QB. You'd be stupid to pass on him. But that being said, Bill's going to do it. He's not going to take him. He's going to build somewhere around the defense, which we kind of all agree on. That's probably the right pick. But I'm just saying, I don't want to see him pass on another fucking uber talented wide receiver, especially where you're hitting on these Bama guys. And you look at the track record of solid Bama wide receivers coming in, from Julio to Amari Cooper,
Calvin Ridley.
Ruggs, Calvin Ridley was there, and now you got Jeremy Jeudy. So, I mean, you look at those guys, all first-round draft picks, all are fucking uber talented. So, I mean, the track record on paper right now seems there because you saw the talent in Jeudy this year. Ruggs, he had a pretty bad rookie year, but, again, that's with the Raiders.
Yep.
But, I mean, the track record's there. It'd be hard. I would hate to see him blow up, and the Patriots were sitting there at 15 and had a chance to draft him. And
it's a tough position to be in if you're the Patriots in there because you have a roster that –
and you don't know who's going to throw the ball. That's the biggest thing, too.
Well, 2 points here. Number one, Bill Belichick sucks at drafting wide receivers. This is the surest thing that you're going to find in a can't miss. You don't even have to fucking scout. Just watch the game. You can see the talent
everywhere.
The other thing is, no matter who you bring in at quarterback, he's going to help him. He's going to help him immensely, even as a rookie, I think, if they let him do Tyreek Hill shit, because that's the guy that he should be compared to. The problem is your roster sucks so goddamn bad, you can't build it from the outside in. I am a firm believer of inside out, and I know Belichick is, and I know all the best teams in the league are too. So I know you, like you said, Bill, it'd be very hard pressed to pass on him, but I think they will, and honestly, I think they should, because on a rookie contract as a first-round draft pick wide receiver, when you have him cheap before the injuries start piling up for those guys, you're not going to be a team fighting for the Super Bowl, and that's the type of team that guy belongs on. Because I know he's good, but I don't think he's a Calvin Johnson the dynamic of your offense type of good in the NFL, because he's too small. I think he's too small to be that. Like if Tyreek Hill was the only guy on a team, I don't think he's Tyreek Hill. I think he needs some surrounding parts. And I think Devontae Smith profiles as that guy too. Could be wrong, but either way, he's not falling to fucking 15 after that season. He's going probably top 5 to fucking Miami.
Dude, he could have had 20 catches this game if he played the second half. Think about that.
Yeah,
incredible.
He could have 5. Probably would have had 20 and 5 touchdowns and fucking 400 yards.
You see his numbers,
And
though?
also,
he had like 115 catches this year, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Also, the Alabama has
Sound like
5-star
shit.
players. Dude, I seriously want to take a baseball bat to your fucking head today. God damn. Do I sound like shit now, you fucking cunt? Huh?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What the fuck? Oh, fuck this shit.
I'm going to be honest with you. You didn't really sound that bad when Bill told you it sounded that bad, and now he's screwed up your entire day. My suggestion would be to leave, come back, and see if it works. Bye.
He's so easy to get rattled.
Yeah.
You don't have to do much. And you just get in his little fucking pea brain and it's over for him. It's fucking over.
Just give it a flick. It starts rattling around. Going nuts.
Dude, man.
Let's see.
I do. I know we're going to move on here in a second, but I do kind of agree that you can't build the team over a wide receiver. You're not a wide receiver away from winning a Super Bowl. And the question marks at quarterback are the biggest issues, because why are you going to invest in a fucking uber wide receiver when you have the likes of Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham on your roster right now, potentially throwing the football?
That's the other thing. That's the other good thing for the Patriots. Free agency is going to happen before the draft. So if they go out there and make big moves, if they go out there and get Stafford, if they go out there and get Garoppolo, if they get Hunter Henry, and they establish themselves in some key areas on the offense, they seal up either Andrews or Tooney on the line or do something to make sure that at least there's 3 key pieces on that line that you know are coming back, then then maybe you take a shot, and then you're looking at a completely different offense. But if you're rolling in with a rookie quarterback in the draft or some scrub off the shit heap, and you struck out on pass catchers like you've done the last 2 or 3 off seasons, then yeah, I'm sorry, you got to make the hard decision in passing a guy like that. But
Yeah,
like we said, the point's fucking moot. He's not going to be there. Ray, let me hear your audio real quick.
Hello.
better. But one more quick thing before we move on. Bill's never had a chance to draft a wide receiver this high. You know, his track record's driving second and third, fourth, fifth round receiver. And then outside of N'Keal Harry, you took at the end of the first round, he's never had that opportunity to draft a high wide receiver. So, like, I get it. I know what you're saying. It's been abysmal.
N'Keal Harry went in a draft where 10 wide receivers are NFL wide receivers, and he's the only one that isn't. So that's either N'Keal Harry's fault or Bill's fault or the Patriots' fault, whatever. I don't give a shit. But 15 to 29 or wherever he drafted N'Keal Harry is not a big enough gap for not understanding wide receiver talent. Fuck that. That would be the only reason I draft Devontae Smith, other than the incredible talent, is because Bill sucks so goddamn bad at it that maybe he could get one in a surefire thing. Knowing his luck and the Patriots' luck, he would go blow his ACL the first year and then never be the same again. Speaking of Bill, excellent segue there, Bill. Obviously, the news, we haven't touched on it because we've just timed out where we weren't on the air. But Belichick was offered the Congressional Medal of Freedom by President Donald Trump. And then about 24 hours later came out and refused to accept the Congressional Medal of Freedom from Donald Trump. If you haven't seen I'm not going to read the whole statement. I know. I have my thoughts. I want yours.
This is the Patriots. This has nothing to do. Bill wanted it. I in my eyes, I think this is what's best for the Patriots. And I think with the social justice initiative you've seen the NFL come out with more and more, I think anything aligning with the president right now is not good. It's not a good look. I know he's only in office for a couple more weeks, but I just think you're coming into one of your most important off seasons in the last 20 years, you know, and if this is, you line yourself with the president after what just happened, you know, I know we don't touch on politics on this show, but it's not a good look for him to align himself right now with the players in the NFL in like backing Trump. You know what I mean? Like where that is. And I just think a lot of it, and I think Robert Kraft knows it. You know, you've heard Kraft kind of distance himself in the last year or so. The more his presidency went on, you kind of saw him back off a little bit, especially in the media side of it. Who knows what happens behind the scene? But I think this is the Patriots going, dude, you can't do this. You can't do it. Because if you look at his statement, it was like the best decision was made. It wasn't like, I feel like if you're doing a statement that's coming from you, he's like, I made the decision not to do it. But it says like the best decision was to not accept it or whatever. And I just feel like that's more team driven than personal driven.
Yeah, it's certainly team driven. I would be shocked if Robert Kraft and Belichick did not have a conversation about this. I'd also be a little surprised if Kraft demanded Belichick do anything, because I think they're probably beyond that in terms of a business. You know, I don't know if you tell Bill Belichick to do anything. If it came to it, maybe he would have. But I kind of believe that Belichick made the decision on his own. We know that that Trump, Belichick.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought you would be more of the team. This kind of shocks me a little bit there, Richard.
Well, I look at Bill's history. Okay, now we know that him and Trump have been friends in the past and are close. We know that the Kraft and Trump are close. Brady and Trump are close. There's a connection there. But Bill Belichick is also from a military family. His father helped break color barriers in the Navy. He went to Wesleyan, which is one of the most fucking liberal schools on the planet.
Where is that? Connecticut, right?
Yeah. He's an NFL coach. He sees different backgrounds, communities, diversities come together and meld, and that's what a football team is. So I think there's on a personal level, and I know we don't talk about politics, and I'm not going to, but to deny what is going on, because of Donald Trump, and whatever way you want to land on that, it would be political not to say that it's because of Donald Trump, the country's in the position that it's in. Bill Belichick's not a fucking dumb man, and I think his principles did get in the way of accepting this award. And let's not make it all about Donald Trump. The idea of not accepting the Congressional Medal of Freedom is pretty fucking big. That's one of the highest awards a civilian can get.
I think it is the highest award, right?
Yeah. So, the idea of just completely denying that because, unfortunately we're in a fucking shit position as a country. I'm sure that sucks. That must suck for Bill Belichick, and who knows? He might still get it on the down low. He just won't be presented it. Right?
Well, that's what I kind of think. Because did he deny the fact he kind of only denied going to Washington, right? And doing it. He never said like I won't accept it. I mean, he's probably going to get it, but it's the media. So. I think it's the media aspect of it that he wants to completely and utterly avoid. And you saw it a little bit in his statement. The social justice thing, and you heard about it in the training camp. You heard the players rave about the coaching staff and what they did and how much they respected the guys for even like with the COVID and not wanting to play because of this. You saw in the NBA guys sitting out, and then you heard the rumblings coming out, but I still think it's more a little team driven. I 50-50 truthfully.
Yeah. Ray, anything to add?
Yeah, it'd be a PR nightmare to go down to Washington and accept it. I mean, 50% of America right now wants to destroy Washington and Donald Trump right now for what he's done. So yeah, that and plus free agency. You think half the NFL players are supporting Trump right now? I don't think so. So that'd be a huge nightmare saying,
there's a lot of redneck fucking.
Oh my God. Does this kid just interrupt every fucking time? This is my new take for the rest of the night is every time Bill starts talking, I'm going to interrupt.
I love how much I'm in your head tonight. It makes me laugh and smile. Thanks, Ray.
He's very angry. Yeah. The NFL is also like 85% African-American, Bill. So you're wrong on that.
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah. I don't want to belabor it. I don't think it's all driven by PR and free agency and everything else. I don't. I have my opinion is that it reached a point greater than that last week. And also the president was impeached. There's a good chance when Bill Belichick was supposed to go there on Thursday, he literally won't fucking be there. So you can't go. Like that was a no-brainer. And, I don't know. Who knows where Bill Belichick's head and heart's at? I'm sure he wanted to accept it, couldn't because of the circumstances. And you're right, Bill. I'm sure the Patriots team had something to say about that. A little bit lighter news, that fucking flake, that flute bearing idiot. What is the visor wearing dope? The worst coach to ever win a Super Bowl in NFL history. Doug Pederson fired after being told that he was going to be staying on. Fired by most accounts because of what happened last week of the season. And no one tanks like Philadelphia, and that's exactly what they did. People don't like that in the NFL. Any thoughts on Ding Dong getting fired? I guess it all revolves around, like we talking about in the text chain today. Are they going to trade Wentz? Do they keep Wentz? Do they build around Wentz? Why don't you hash out your opinions on that, Ray? Bill, please don't interrupt.
Trade Wentz. Start all over. $36 million due. Just eat it now. You got Jalen Hurts that's on a rookie contract. Keep him. He looks bright future for that kid. Get Wentz, get some draft picks in return, start building all over again. Because right now it's a dumpster fire. You don't want two competing quarterbacks going into that preseason with a new coach and then having all that drama in the locker room. So yeah, I'd definitely trade Wentz.
I'm with Ray.
Suck it, Bill.
The cap hit on Wentz in his contract is a nightmare. However, if you dig into it deep enough, I was actually educated on this on Facebook by a Philadelphia fan, that if they trade him by a certain day, June 3rd or something, that they only have to eat, I say only, but they have to eat $34 million of dead cap hit in 2021. Then they're completely clear in 2022. If they just waive him or if they trade him after that date, then they've got 2 years of it's like 34 million and like 22 million. So it's bad. It's really bad. But Carson Wentz has been reported to be a problem in the locker room ever since 2017 and Nick Foles was there. He has failed on the field now. He's no longer a good quarterback. You have Jalen Hurts that showed something this year that the team rallied around. So bite the bullet. You got a new coach coming in. You got a new regime. They're going to have a longer leash to succeed. And that 34 million will hurt a little bit in the short term, but destroying your locker room and eating Wentz's salary for the next 2 years will hurt a lot more. Bill, you disagree?
No, I agree with everything you guys said. But the only thing is, should they? I don't think they're going to trade him. Should they? Absolutely. But I think the firing of Doug Pederson, and I texted you guys. No, I'm not snip snapping. I texted you guys this.
Hey, this is audio, Bill. No one saw that. That was a secret message between me and Ray. Okay, that was just for the audio edition.
But I just think the firing of Doug Pederson was a clear indication that Carson Wentz won. I don't think it has to do with a lot of them tanking. I just think the owner's more committed to Wentz than he was to Doug Pederson, because you hear about that friction before the whole tanking thing that we didn't even really get into on this show.
Well, get into it. I'll get into it. Oh, we have a lot to get to, but
incredible in its own right. But I just think that is kind of a clear indication that Wentz and his contract are going to be on this team next year.
I think you're giving a little bit too much credit to Carson Wentz and who he is and what he means in that organization. The reports at a camp said that people just got fucking sick of Pederson because he was a douchebag, essentially. I'm subquoting on that one. I don't know if that's
also they didn't like him. He also was pissed that people were telling him what to do, and he doesn't like that.
Oh, yeah. Do you know who the front runner is for this job now?
Oh, please tell me. I don't know if I heard this.
You guys don't take a guess.
I've heard several.
McDaniels.
No, worse.
Chip Kelly.
Oh, worse.
Come on, tell us. We got a lot of shit to get to. Oh, fucking.
Bullshit.
Oh, Philly, beat Philly. Please, God. Please, God. At least it would keep him out of Fenway. Keep him out of Fenway. Oh, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. All right, shifting gears off that trash city. NBA continues to be ravaged by COVID. There were talks that they were going to expand some different protocols. Some of the ones coming out are dumb as shit.
The worst ones.
No handshaking after the game. Like, what does it take? What do we have to scream into the void every goddamn time for these fucking professional sports organizations to understand that that's not it? You just can't let these people have lives while they're working. You don't have to full bubble. You just have to monitor them. Hotel,
that's what's happening
game.
now.
Hotel, practice, game. Hotel, practice, game. Home, practice, game. That's it. That is fucking it. Sorry, it's 6 months. You still get to see your family. You still get to eat what you want to eat. You still get to play basketball. Oh, and they still write you checks for millions of dollars. Sorry, you can't go to the strip club or fucking Applebee's or whatever. My God, come on. No handshaking after the game. Are you fucking kidding me?
So everything you just said, Rich, it's in place for the next 2 weeks, the next 15 days. So a little more than 2 weeks. They can only go practice, workout, home. When they're on the road, they can't leave the hotel. They're not supposed to have like any other family in besides people that live in the house, but it's a 2 week like stay at home shit like that. So we'll see. But it's only 2 weeks. They're in trouble.
It's only 2 weeks, and how they're going to enforce it.
Didn't they just put bracelets on? I think too. They just did what the NFL did. But
I'm sure you can get away from that easily, though.
Yeah, I don't like the bracelet thing. I think that is crossing the line of civil liberties.
Exactly.
First of all, yeah, you can also just take it. Just honor system, and if someone doesn't honor it, then fucking nail them. James Harden, $50,000. Next time it's $150,000. Next time you're out.
Or Kyrie partying maskless.
Oh, okay, fine. You want to skip ahead?
Did you hear what the fine is going to be for Kyrie if the video proves that he was?
Why don't you inform the people?
$410,000 a game. He's going to be docked.
Well, does that include the fact that he just left his team, right? That has to be included too, right?
Well, because he's going to have to be.
Yeah, Bill, it's called
quarantine.
The douchebag clause.
Yeah,
man.
He's going to be quarantined. So, like, part of the NBA protocol of quarantine, if you broke it on purpose by going out to a club, had all these rules. Like, if you went to any of these things, like, then you get docked, like, game checks, but it's a percentage of your contract. So, for Kyrie, it's $410,000.
Oh, the fire!
Good. I can't wait. The fire's already started.
Yeah.
It's hot and
Dude,
black.
the coals are forming. Right
No, Bill, we are flaming.
Yeah, we have a flame. We have a flame.
Obviously, everyone knows what we're talking about. The newest report.
What's our bets, though? I think I'm closest. I didn't go over.
The newest report was Kyrie Irving, who said that he was skipping games because of what happened in the Capitol and civil injustice and social injustice and everything else, that he wants to fucking scream about. Okay, what, Ray?
It's his father and sister's birthday, and
Oh,
he
well,
wants
I
to.
was fucking getting there, you dope, and your audio still sounds like shit. That's for interrupting me. So the newest
does.
report today is that he went to his sister's 30th birthday, and that's where the video came from. And he celebrated his dad's birthday, and they were out partying. And I guess the newest report is he has finally talked to the Nets. I'm sure it was after that fine conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he talked to
Hey,
him
man,
just to tell him he wasn't
$410,000.
coming back. That's it. I'm not coming back this week. He's gone.
Maybe this year.
We record this on Tuesday. He's not coming back this whole week. I'm starting to think he's going to opt out for the season. I'm starting to think it. The way this shit's happened, I'm starting to think it. You're seeing it right now. You're fucking seeing it. Dude, you just skipped it for what? For what? You're the
Because
only
it's his 30th
NBA
birthday.
You're the only NBA player that fucking skipped it because of what just happened in Washington. You had whole teams have conversations the night of that fucking incident last Wednesday and decide we're still going to fucking play. But you being unholier than holy, you fucking cunt, has to walk away. Now you have to throw in, it was my sister's birthday. God forbid, I'm not wearing a fucking mask, which is violating protocol. I hope they
He's an artist.
murder him.
You should respect his artistic ways.
That's the thing.
If I'm the Nets, I suspend the shit out of him too. I suspend him for fucking 10 games.
Doc,
you quit. You walked away on your team for
they're
personal
paying
reasons.
him $30 million a year to be the biggest douchebag. Douchebag is like cunt is great, but douchebag really fits him because that's the epitome of a douchebag personality. Thinking you're better and smarter than everybody else and doing whatever you want in spite of everybody else. Douchebag.
The dookie in him.
Actually, I'm sorry. Fucking douchebag. God, he is and that's the thing, Bill. Let's step away from burying, like honest talk, not burying him on how much we actually hate him and how everybody else should hate him too. But that night when the Capitol was raided and NBA teams obviously have been going through the whole social justice thing for the last year plus, George Floyd and everything else that's been going on in this country. Let's look at our Celtics with the Heat, locked arms before the game, had conversations, talked to the media, decided to do it together as a group, as a grouping of players. And the one fucking guy that thinks he's above his brethren is Kyrie Irving. And then we find out he's partying because his sister turned 30. Who gives a shit? You fucking putz. You douchebag. You're right, Bill. I hope the Nets, I hope the NBA, I hope Kevin Durant, I hope they all fucking bury this guy. And I honestly, fuck the content. I hope we never hear from him again in an NBA standpoint. I hope he moves to Africa and saves the fucking country. Take your millions and save Africa, dude, or India, or anywhere else you want to go save. You prick. Fuck Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and don't forget who was the teams the next night after tip off. Both teams took a knee and and had the shot clock expire.
Right.
Turnover first of the game. I forget who it was, but
Denver and the Clippers, I believe.
And they all took a knee.
Yeah.
And then this fucking prick can't be bothered to show up for one game this week.
He's better than everyone.
Dude,
not only that, not tell
infuriates me.
anybody.
I am so fucking glad he's not on the Celtics because now, oh God,
how good?
I would be so fucking more angry.
Toot. How good does that take that I didn't want to watch Kyrie and AD on the Celtics sounded now, people? Now, how's it sounding?
Sounds pretty good.
AD's got a championship, but Kyrie's a douchebag. That would have been tough. And we have two young superstars. I'll call them it just for this fucking conversation.
Wow.
Leading the way in the NBA, dealing with everything. God, man. Oh, good. All right, that felt good to get off my chest. Fuck. The city is burning. The dumpster is burning. Kevin Durant, go get yourself traded to Houston right now. Go fucking flip the script. Send John Wall's ass to Brooklyn and make a team in Houston because the Brooklyn Nets.
If I'm Durant, I'm asking out now.
Fuck yeah.
Right fucking now. If your owner's not trading Kyrie, if I'm Durant, I want out. Like this team's
Marcus
really
Smart
good.
and Peyton Pritchard are available.
Don't forget your boy
and Time Lord
and Semi.
And Semi good, not good. Ojala. And Tice. And everybody whose name does not begin with J.
Yeah, we'll throw in Kemba, and we'll even give you Brad Stevens, too.
Yeah. Take Hickory Dickory Doc. Whew. All right.
That
felt fucking good. That felt good. All right. Well,
the Jays.
Other than that, hopefully the NBA gets their shit together with this COVID because I'd like to watch some basketball. But luckily, we won't have to worry about that because the NHL is coming back today, Ray, and the Bruins are coming back tomorrow. Some Bruins news here if we want to skirt through this quickly, and then we got some baseball news to finish up with. Bruins announced today they will be retiring Willie O'Ree, 22 jersey in the rafters, broke the color barrier in the NHL, played like 24 games, I think, for the Bruins. So good for them. Clearly the right thing to do. I don't know what took so long. What's the whole?
Should have happened a long time ago. That's a PR move right now.
So he only played 24 games?
Yeah.
So Gordon Hayward could get his 20 retired in the Raptors.
Well, for the Celtics, yeah, but not the Bruins don't retire a ton of numbers.
Honestly, that's what jumped out to me. 12 numbers retired from the Bruins and 112 retired from the Celtics.
Yep.
I'm not saying he was a great player, but in a sport like that is predominantly white and not African American, not a lot of African American players play it. His number probably should have been retired throughout the whole sport. Honestly, I mean, in a predominantly white sport.
Like a Jackie Robinson kind of move.
Well, Jackie Robinson was a legit Hall of Famer. Like this guy played 24 games.
Well, you say retired.
Yeah, but they don't.
But
his number's not retired because he's a Hall of Famer. His number's retired for breaking the color barrier and going through the shit that he went through. And that's what should have been the same case here. The league probably had something to say with it.
Instead they retire Wayne Gretzky's number through every team in the league, but not the guy that broke the color barrier. It's kind of bullshit, but story for another day.
Well, he is Canadian, so they're underprivileged as well, I think. On regular. So anyway, look, that's good. Good news. Should have happened sooner, but at least they did the right thing. Let's talk about some actual Bruin news. Ben Hutton, who was rumored to the Bruins to fill a hole or help fill a hole, try to fill a hole at defensive left shot, is signing a tryout contract for the Anaheim Ducks. I ask you, hockey guy, Bill, what the fuck?
It's fucking annoying. This is a guy that you're going to pay the amount of money you're going to pay Zdeno Chara. So if you're comfortable paying Chara this amount of money, why aren't you comfortable going after Hutton, especially on a PTO? So, I mean, if he doesn't fit, you don't even need to sign him. But it's a shame they didn't bring him into camp. And you saw that Mike Hoffman signed PTO, and then with St. Louis, he had a wink, hush deal that he was signing there no matter what after this. You didn't have to sign Hutton, but you could have at least brought him in to push these young guys because the guy's a pretty talented defenseman, and he can move the puck on the back end, is what you're kind of lacking now that you moved Torrey Krug. So he would have fit a need on that left side, and you wouldn't have to rely so much on the rookies. But, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with COVID. We've talked about the internal cap. But a lot of it, I think, is they're bracing for outbreaks in the NHL because all those guys you got to start bringing up, start eating when they start playing, go salary cap. When you're pressed up against that $3.5 million and you got a lot of big outbreak on your team, the taxi squad guys start counting against your salary cap. So that could be right there I think if you had more money, you probably play, but $3.5 million is probably their ceiling going into the season or their basement and going into the season. So now you can add later on. So we'll see. Yeah. Maybe they find a bigger need behind Ben Hutton. Wait till the trade market hits. That $3.5 million is going to come a long way then.
Yeah, that's a good point on the COVID and the contract situation. I would just say stop rumoring, stop getting into the rumor mill then, you assholes.
Yeah.
Raymond, MLB Hot Stove it has nothing to do with this other than Benintendi is rumored was first the Marlins and now a couple other teams are picking up. Seems like he is on his way out. Ray, you into that?
Yeah, get him. Yeah, I just got an alert on my phone as well that Boston Red Sox are going to be hot spenders before spring training because they want to improve their roster for 2021. That means get rid of Benintendi. Do it. Benintendi is also linked to the Pittsburgh Pirates as a sleeper team. Houston, Oakland, and there's another team. But
Rangers, I saw.
Rangers
are out. Rangers are out. The latest.
Well, either way, if they don't get back at least two pitching prospects, then it's a dud. But yeah, I'm for it. Let's do it. We talked about this the other week. Let's do that. But good segue, Raymond. That walking tit Rob Manfred came out and said that spring training and the season will start on time. When at one point there are rumors where they might delay it, trying to get the vaccines. They're not going to do that. They're also not going to require fans to have been vaccinated or a negative test. So it sounds like they're also anticipating fans in a lot of these stadiums. I would assume in the same states that football is allowing some of this, some fans in the stadium. So
Let's go.
that's that. Baseball is coming around the corner. Couple last tidbits. R.I.P. Manny Ramirez was cut by the Sydney Blue Sox. So hate to see that.
Hate
Hate to see it.
He
He's
looks in great
49.
shape, though.
Hate to see it.
And this last thing, Rusney Castillo signs with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And fuck you, Bill. I asked the question, what's worse, signing Castillo or Fat Panda Pablo Sandoval? And you had to be a cunt and tell me that Alan Craig was not a signing because I threw him in there too. He was a trade. But
It's
real quickly,
Castillo.
10 seconds were left.
Castillo.
Fat Panda.
He at least played. Castillo
You wait-
never.
Fat Panda weighed as much as the three of us combined. Jeez.
We got cut off there because we had to wait for Ray's shitty audio a couple times during that show. So let me just go ahead and end it. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, January 13th. We will see you on Friday for Friday headlines. Bye-bye.
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 But your audio sounds like shit.
Does it?
Yep.